All right, our next ranter is Demetri from Staten Island, and Demetri wants to talk about the Knicks. Nothing about them sucking, but he wants to talk about the Knicks. Demetri, your New Yorker sports rant begins now.
I like Knick talk. Let's go. Right on the mic, Demetri. Right on the mic.
I just want to say, yeah, the Knicks came off to a terrible start this year, like always, but they have a good group this year, and they're going to go far. I mean, Wilson Chandler, they got a young group, and they're going to do big things this year. And next year, they're definitely not going to get LeBron or Dwayne Wade, but they might get a halfway player like Amari or Dirk Nowitzki, guaranteed. And they might not make the playoffs this year, but they're going to be at the brink, guaranteed.
What? Wait, hold on. Wait, Demetri, before you go anywhere, did you just say that this season that they're going to be close to making the playoffs?
I mean, look,
he did say
to
that.
the 8th place.
No, that's a yes or no question, Demetri. I'm not sure.
I'm going to go ahead and say definitely.
Definitely? I mean, is that something you actually believe in, or is that just you coming up here and saying, I'm going to shock the world with a statement? Demetri, what are you doing? You look like you're having your way with the mic stand here. No, it's okay.
Right now, the Knicks are 3 spots away from the 8th.
Oh my God! They got 3 wins. They're terrible.
And the team in the 8th spot has 6 wins. They're playing the Kings tonight. If they win the next 3 games, they're going to be in the 8th spot in the Eastern Conference.
The next 3 games are out west, and not winning the next 3 games. They're a brutal team. You were going well. You were fine. You said if they don't get LeBron, they don't get Wade, they'll get some other guys. I happen to think that a combination of Joe Johnson and Chris Bosh, or Joe Johnson and Amari Stoudemire would be a great, twosome to come in and compete for a championship with those guys. But to think that the Knicks are actually going to make a run at the playoffs this year is asinine. I don't think that Mike D'Antoni or Donnie Walsh would even agree with you, or a player on that team would even agree with you. That team is brutal. The issue with the Knicks, Sal, is the fact that there's no core. The last time that the Knicks had cap space was in 1996. You remember they brought in Allen Houston, they brought in Chris Childs, they made the trade for Larry Johnson. Those were 3 great moves. But at that point, they had a core with that team. Right now, if you bring in 2 players, let's say you bring in Joe Johnson, you bring in Chris Bosh, you bring in Joe Johnson, you bring in Amari Stoudemire, there's nobody there. Because, I mean, Wilson Chandler, I know you're in love with Wilson. You love Wilson Chandler. I don't think he's a great basketball player. Danilo Gallinari, I think, can be a great basketball player, but God knows what's going to happen with the back. We don't know what's going to happen with Tony Douglas. There's no core here. And as bad as the Nets are, I will give them this. They have just as much cap room, and they've got Devin Harris on that team. They've got Brook Lopez on that team. They got Chris Douglas-Roberts on that team. There's more of a core there, and a lottery pick, mind you, that the Knicks don't have. So there's no core there, nothing to build on outside of free agency.
Craig, you mentioned the word Knicks. Demetri, for coming up and ranting about the New York Knicks, has just won himself 2 tickets for Sunday's Knicks game.
Oh, so how about that? You can see the playoff team in action, Demetri.
There you go. He gets to see his Knicks in a playoff-style atmosphere.
It's sad what has happened to the Knicks. We grew up loving the Knicks. I mean, if you would have asked me 10 years ago if I thought the Knicks would ever in my lifetime not going to make the playoffs, I would have thought you were nuts.
Yeah.
Now looking back, they haven't made the playoffs in about 10 years, so it's hard to fathom that as a diehard Knicks fan. But that being said, I think that they're going to be okay. If they get 2 of those guys, you build a core, and then they'll get a high draft pick maybe next year, even if they're not that good. Unfortunately, Isaiah screwed the franchise and gave away the lottery pick this year. That's just going to kill them. Nets are in better shape, but the Nets are the Nets. This is the New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden. Maybe they can sign 3 guys. You don't know. And if they keep Wilson Chandler, like you said, Tony Douglas, and Gallinari develops into something, maybe they do have a little bit. My biggest issue with the Knicks is the head coach. I am a Knicks fan, and any legit Knicks fan wants defense. And this guy does not coach defense.
And he never will.
So I don't care who they get. Exactly, they never will on him. So I didn't like, look, he's a nice guy. He's got him going in the right direction. They're cleaning him up. He's got a good attitude. He does not coach defense. I can't watch basketball like that. They will never win a championship.
With Mike D'Antoni as the coach. I couldn't agree more with that.